What oh, yeah.
Do we have a special treat for you tonight? My longtime friend, Joey Severini of Mental Productions, is releasing his totally awesome independent movie called Tonight for the first time after 20 years of filming it. He is a creative genius and he does all kinds of cartoons and sketches and comedy. And I cannot wait for you guys to see him.
Yeah.
So let's give it up for Joey.
Yeah.
So Joey is here tonight. We have a lot of things to talk about, but first let me preface it by saying Joey is the person that does a lot of our video work.
Yes.
The Cockatiel Boy, the video.
Very proud.
We've known each other for like what, 20 years
20
now?
years, yeah.
Oh my God.
Is that crazy? I was like, we're at that point where because I mean, obviously you guys have, let me know if I'm talking too loud. I don't know
No,
if you can hear me as well.
No, boom on.
Boom on. But no, we know each other so long that obviously we do like, our shorthands, our like inside jokes and shorthands have condensed over years to now it's just like, it's all like one word. Like everything.
Oh, you guys have to hear that story one day.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think we have time for all the stories, but
no, there's so many stories, so many jokes. So Joey and I knew each other in Orlando, and I'm gonna let him talk in a second about his upcoming film. Lousekateers are on some of the soundtrack. Joey and I wrote. Joey like asked me for some ideas on the movie, and we sat in his apartment and like wrote all this crazy shit that came from like real life stories from me. A lot of it, people that we
changed
knew,
the names, but
people that
to
we
protect
knew.
the bows of the world.
That Tree and I backed our car into the ditch.
Oh, that was you guys. Okay, I didn't remember who the story was.
The cow car in the ditch, yeah, which is included in the movie, art imitating life, I guess, if you will. And so before we get started, can you just give us a brief synopsis on what Tonight is about? It's been 15 years in the making, at least, probably more than that.
It's been almost 20 years in the making. Like the writing was one process. I had a whole other simplified story before. It was way more quaint and like, oh, maybe they this and maybe they that. My original version, and once Val got involved, it was like, hey, what if they, instead of this, how about if they fall in a ditch? And I'm like, hey, that's kind of cool. But I wanted to, I wanted to make a film very badly when I was like my early 20s. And I love movies and I love, like, especially like at that time, I was really into like, some cool like throwback 80s movies, like License to Drive and like, the Tories and
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, of course. I referenced Back to the Future way too many times in there. But yeah, like Back to the Future and Go, if you know the movie Go, and Suburbia, like not the punk Suburbia, but the Giovanni Ribisi Suburbia. Anyways, I had all these things, all these ideas, and I wanted to make a story that was just about, I lived in Florida. I was raised in Florida, and I wanted to make a movie about crazy adventures you could have in a place that is really boring. So basically the story is about these three friends in high school. Rocco Love, Summer, his girlfriend who he doesn't really like, and his best friend Skeptic, who I end up playing. And basically they don't want to go to prom, but it's like, that's what's expected. So they're like, yeah, sure, we're going to prom. And the real story is they're going to see their favorite band called FM. And it's several towns, right? Isn't that great? It's several towns over. And so that actually was inspired by a trip I took with my friend David to Lakeland, Florida. I went to see Smashing Pumpkins and Garbage in Lakeland, Florida. And that's kind of where it started, where I was like, man, this is really cool story about, going on, on what should be a simple adventure, and then all this stuff happens. So that's pretty much what happens. It's these three friends who intend on just like, hey, we're going to ditch the prom. We're going to instead go to this concert, and they get immediately ejected from the concert. Skeptic's a bit of an idiot, a bit of an Urkel or whatever, and just accident prone. And it's this really long journey to get there, and they get kicked out like immediately. He gets smacked in the eyes, wearing an eye patch the rest of the movie. And then they get to the rest of the night, and they're just bored. They think that there's no excitement, and in comes, these two characters who are really exciting, Monkey and Summer, who Summer is actually Rocco's secret crush who works at the coffee shop. And the night ends up just unfolding and turning into, shenanigans. And there's just kind of one thing after another. They set a place on fire. They, they break into a mall. All this sort of really fun stuff. And yeah, their car falls in a ditch. And it's just kind of all the chaos that could happen in one night that they really have no expectations on. So there's a love triangle there because Rocco is with his girlfriend who he doesn't like, and the girl that he's in love with. And then there's also the other man who Summer is with Monkey. And so he's stuck in this weird spot. So it's a really fun little weird movie, and it's a micro budget movie. So I use that to the maximum, and it stars some really cool Florida people, one of which who has gone on to have a good little career of his own doing what he really loves, which is not so much acting, but he's the he's the host of the official Star Wars show on the Star Wars YouTube channel, and he does a lot of podcasts and stuff. And his name's Rocco to me, but it's Anthony Carboni. And Tiffany Lynn Rubano is amazing. She plays Summer, the love interest, and she is there's so many people I kind of think of her as, but she really is her own person too. She just lit up the room when she did the audition, and I hope she'll let me put that audition tape because it's kind of crazy. It's like she goes through this like multiple different personas in like the span of a couple minutes. So
they really did a good job. I mean, all the characters did such a good job of playing their characters. Like, for being a low budget film, it was very well executed. Having seen the movie.
Yeah, Val is one of the first people to ever see it because
except that guy at Denny's.
And that guy at Denny's, man. Well, he made the movie as well, and that also I just called something. I'm very paranoid about people stealing any ideas, so I was like, Val, our Denny's story is
we used to go.
I'm like, we'd go to places and talk about all these ideas and stuff. Ideas. And I was like, Val, I'm really uncomfortable with like going out, to like Denny's and saying, because like, what if somebody overhears it? And she's like, nah. So cut to we're there one time talking about the ideas, and I'm like, of course I'm a little paranoid, like I don't get the ideas out there or whatever. And then this guy at the next table goes, so Linda, right? What's her deal? And he starts talking about someone. It was like, told you, Val, But anyways, I love the movie. All the characters do such a great job. Ryan is Monkey, and he is Monkey.
Yeah,
he does such a great job, and I'm in it. I'm happy with my performance, but I'm of course just like I can't watch myself, so that's the hard part of editing my own thing.
You can't edit yourself out, Joey.
Yeah, to edit myself. I know. I did cut out a lot of stuff that was me that I'm like, you don't need to see too much of me. And Sarah is nothing like the Melinda character. It was actually originally it was somebody else going to play it, and then she couldn't play it anymore. And Sarah stepped in to play Melinda and did an amazing job. It's because if you know her, she's nothing like the character. She's supposed to be like really bitchy and stuff. It's like she's really, really sweet. She's like a school teacher now. And she's just like, it's fantastic. So I love it. And a lot of cool little, it's one of those movies where it's like the 5 main characters, but they just keep encountering people throughout. So it's kind of like, you meet somebody else as you go. So like Flavio is Melinda's ex-boyfriend, and he talks like this, and he's, hello, I own a cheese shop, and all, it's very cool. And then my friend Ash, yeah, he's Edison. Well, yeah.
Edison.
I mean, if we're going to be real, these are all real people. And,
a lot of them were based off of real people that we knew. Yeah,
absolutely. Get my club soda. So yeah, I do love the movie. It's a wild movie, and it's a movie that's been almost 20 years in the making, just because I wrote it and then worked on it for a while, and then I filmed it and then edited it then, like, as the script, and the hard drive got deleted, like got messed up, and lost the entire movie. And in the long run, that turned out to be a really good thing, because if I stuck straight to the script how it was not as fun as it is now. Now I went crazy and just packed as much into it as possible. So I luckily in the years have added so many like background sound effects. I do so many background, like, like a guy, guy through the bathroom. I got to do the hey, my kid's gonna poop. That's
get him up.
Hey, get him up. And I just wish I knew you guys earlier. I obviously knew Val, but I obviously would have put you guys in there as well if I knew you back then.
You can still use Dan.
I think I can still work in there somewhere.
Tomorrow, Dan.
I could digitally put you on the back of Sergio's little motor scooter, and yeah, we'll totally work it in there. Yeah,
I'm sure it will.
Yeah, and when we make the sequel, obviously. But yeah, no, I love the movie. It's a very wild little thing. I can't wait for everybody to see it. And
so November 1st is the projected on your birthday, right?
No, I think it's going to be the end of November. It's going to be around. I think it's the Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, 28th or whatever it is.
Black Friday.
That's right. So you'll be home with like your Best Buy TV, watching it on your and so the last thing I wanted to say about it for sure is the music. I didn't when I originally was doing it, I had a couple bands in mind, had a couple of things in mind, but obviously with all this time to overthink the movie, I was able to just pack it with a ton of music, and I have your music in there a bunch, and it was also
JR is in it too. Moonlight.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Moonlight.
Love a Man's in there.
Yeah. I really wanted him to narrate it too. It's like, that'd be fun. But the next thing, well, for sure. But I got some really cool bands as well that lent their music to it as well. So 2:30 is a really cool ska band, California. And the B Sharps, they have 2 songs on there. They're also from California. And I have an amazing guitarist, Justin Rothberg, who did all original music, like all the interstitial music throughout. And him and my friend Matsu, who's an amazing drummer, he did all the kind of like Birdman-ish music, drum music throughout it as well. So it's just packed full of stuff. And then I did a bunch of random like background songs, like on the radio and stuff. Every once in a while, I'd be like, this only needs like a 10-second song. So I just would sing about like Small Wonder and stuff like that. I did a Bee Gees like ripoff, sort of thing. So, and a Michael McDonald faux song. So it's so dense. So
awesome.
But anyways, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's amazing. I can't wait for you to release it. It's just so awesome, and it's so Joey, in every way. I wanted to kind of talk about, so Joey is a multi-talented man, and if you check out his Mental Productions site,
check out my Mental Productions,
you'll see the awesome cartoon series Honchos, and he's working on the Loofah Dudes, and all these great cartoon Batman having sex, which has not been released yet, but
by then it'll definitely be. Yeah, I don't know what I'm calling it yet, but right now it's like no time for the bat signal.
Batman having sex.
It's basically Batman having sex.
Who's your bat? You know you want to use that one.
FaceTime in the other room. My daughter is occupied in the other room, so I can do this.
So I wanted to kind of start off with the question, since you have so much. You're probably like one of the most creative people I've ever met, and brilliant with your jokes and your punchlines, which I love. I wanted to kind of touch on where it all came from. So Joey was raised by clowns, literally.
What?
His parents are artists. They own Boom Art in Orlando, one of the coolest art stores you could ever go to. Their house has been featured in magazines. Cricket, his stepdad, has been in like a variety of movies and commercials. And if you ever go visit the store, he'll tell you all about it. So my question to get it started is, what was it like literally being raised by artists, clowns? I mean, like, did they wear like big floppy shoes to parent-teacher conferences when you were a kid? Like,
they did not. Yeah, it was, I wish I could say like, oh, when it was like, bring your parents to work, bring your parents to school, that they would do something and jump, but no, they did not. It was really colorful. Yeah, my mom and dad were professional ringling clowns, my stepdad as well. And so the first couple of years I was raised in the circus, like literally in Sarasota. And it was really cool. And it was one of those things where it kind of sets you up to think like, well, you can jump everywhere and you can do this anyway, And it was a big letdown when you got like, oh, I can't. Everything isn't like Breakaway, And I really, so that was the first couple of years, and then being raised in a house that's also very colorful because they were artists as well.
Yeah.
It's the type of thing where I still don't understand why I can't just paint this wall, like, but it's supposed to be. Why is it white? Like why is it off white?
Yes.
But it was really cool. It was the best thing to be raised in such a creative atmosphere, because I mean, the possibilities are endless, and you obviously you can't turn it off. And so at this stage in my life, I'm like, I cannot stop wanting to do and make stuff, constantly. But it was it was an amazing experience to be raised that way, because my house was just, I think I don't even remember I haven't been to my room in a while, but I think it had like cows and Wile E. Coyote painted on there. Yeah. And, every single room had like Betty Boop or a parrot. Yeah, cool. Very colorful.
It was so cool.
Yeah, so especially in Florida, it was really cool to have such a place that, you didn't mind not leaving, because you're like, oh, I got everything here. It's like, Disney World anyway. So they always say it was kind of like Pee-wee's Playhouse, and
yes,
I totally agree.
It did look like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
It really does.
Amazing. I was so jealous of you when I went to the house. I was like, my parents suck. Your parents are so much cooler than mine.
Well, my only thing is I just always found everybody else's house, like when I go to every other friend's house, so bland. I'm like,
yeah,
brown, white, like that's it. Like you don't.
And
have
you
any
always had like
color.
Circus people coming in too, right? Like that would come hang out, like
yeah,
like at the house from the circus.
Yeah. It's just very. A crazy thing too is since so Sarasota, Florida is where the clown college was, at least at the time, and so many entertainers.
Steve-O went there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Disney wasn't that far, obviously from Sarasota, Florida. So a lot of the entertainers just kind of stopped there. in the Orlando area, and so pretty much anytime we go to Disney or go to medieval times or whatever, there was somebody that recognized my parents. You know, he'd just constantly be like, guy in a cowboy hat comes up, like, hey, Ron, you know, oh, what's going on? Lasso him over, you know. So I mean, that was just my life. Was that? I think it's part of the reason I'm so shy now around going outside, because I'm like, everybody's gonna know me. Everybody, hey, you know. So yeah, it was really cool. I can't not have color. I can't not paint at least, you know, once a month something.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
Chanksa, Chivo, who wants to go next?
yeah, I'm sorry, I'm talking so much. I apologize.
No, it's
No worries. It's your project, man. You should be talking about it.
Yeah, man. Okay, I guess I'll go. Chivo has to go. Okay.
El Chivo, which is Spanish for the Chivo.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Chris
So
Farley
I
ripoff.
see that you do like a lot of you briefly talked about it like, I don't know, like 10 minutes ago about mental productions, and I was just curious about that. For people that don't know and don't know anything about it, what is mental productions, and what inspired you to start it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've always wanted to have my own little film studio, and in recent years, you don't need, you know, an actual physical whatever 10-mile long studio. You can do everything in small spaces. So I've been over the years building. So mentalproductions.com is it all goes to my YouTube channel, and it's just tons of fun videos that aren't just one style. There's sketch videos. There's a lot of cartoon sketch videos. But what I've been doing recently is trying to build up all the TV shows and movies and pack it with, like, it's a full studio is what I'm going for. So the movie is the first movie, but it's supposed to be one of many, and then a bunch of TV shows as well. So it's just a lot of fun indie variety of content, really. Getting a lot of cartoons and a lot of kind of robot chickeny mixes where it's kind of live action toy, not toys like stop motion, but like the Loofah Dudes is a little TV show I was working on where it's about these crime fighting loofah sponges, and so it's a combination of physical sponges, but the mouths are all digital and everything. Kind of like that's where the robot chickenness comes. And just trying to make a lot of fun content, kind of like a Netflix or whatever, but just a very wide variety of stuff. And yeah,
awesome.
And you're definitely gonna be on there. You're gonna be in something very soon, I'm sure.
Yes. Oh my God, I can't wait. More of me. You can't get enough of me.
Yes. Yeah.
You can't get enough of you.
I gotta make two toes. I'm dying. I was telling Val I'm dying to do something with two toes.
I told him.
2 Toes?
Oh, Tony.
Okay, I was like, one of the something.
I don't know what the fuck that is, but you keep talking about him like he's here. I have no idea what you're talking about. So,
like, there's still time. I might be able to add him in the background of the Tonight. I do have Val, actually. Besides being, having music in there, I did force her to be a vocal neighbor.
Yes. In the middle of Manhattan Street.
Yeah, I got in the middle of Manhattan. We were midtown. And I said, hey, why don't you shout these things? And she had no problem just
screaming
or whatever. It was great. So I think there's still time. We're going to work something in there.
So,
shut the hell up!
Yeah, there we go.
She was like, I'm going to kill Ginger. I'm going to kill her.
What did you say? Yeah, maybe you could be the husband. Like, shut the hell up.
All right,
already.
Shut the hell up, Bernice. He's trying to do something over here. God damn it.
Damn it. Yeah, we're going to do a Tony Two Toes something at some point.
He needs his own show.
Maybe he's just a tourist. Maybe he just goes around like what's the Fraggle Rocks? The uncle that would always go on like a roller coaster. What is this weird thing? With the uncle, the one that had the pit helmet and everything.
Yeah, it was like the builder one, right? Was
no, not the builder. There was one of the Fraggles had his uncle or something. He had like a it was a Fraggle, but he had like a mustache, and it would be these little interludes where he writes a postcard to him. And he's like, I found this weird thing called a roller coaster. We'll sit on it or whatever. So maybe Tony Two Toes can just like...
Yeah, man. It's been a while since I watched that show. Holy shit.
That's as much as I remember. He probably doesn't have a mustache. He probably doesn't have a postcard, but that's my recollection of it.
Yeah. I don't, I'd have to just watch one just to see, just to get a frame of reference now, because I totally don't... The only thing I really remember from that show is the dog.
Oh yeah,
the dog.
The
dog just passed out through like the beginning of the show. It's like
it was always just like
just sleeping in the corner.
Did you see the last one where he eats a Fraggle? No.
Yeah, well, he's waiting. He's like,
gotta get him.
I just need one.
Look like Falcor.
Yeah. So yeah, but so my question for you is, beyond this, what else does Mental Productions do? Like, is there any other plans for outside of just movie production and show production? Is there anything that you're gonna branch out or try anything different beyond that, or what's the next project you're gonna work on after this?
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, let's see. So I'm trying to do I'm trying to do a couple TV shows is kind of the main focus, but I can't just not do all these other things. So I have to like work on dumb sketch videos and cartoons and stuff. But yeah, I wanted to just keep growing. I wanted to be a full, there's something for everybody type of, as long as you like this humor. There's a few things that are dramedy as well, but mostly it's mostly comedy. Of all of it, yeah, I'm trying to build it more and more. And I've been trying to get my friend to do a podcast for the longest time, like a comedy podcast, like kind of sketchy podcast. But yeah, I've been trying to build it as much as possible, with cartoons, long form, short form, stories, some shorts, some TV shows themselves, a lot more movies. The ones what I've been mostly working on right now, besides just wrapping up the Tonight stuff, is a couple of TV shows. There's 2 TV shows, and then the next movie, but that movie might also, I was actually talking to Val about it, might actually be a stage play first. Mm-hmm. And that's been the current focus. But yeah, I can't stop the ideas, so it's just it's a problem, really. I'm like, I have to keep, like, I have files and files in my computer of just, okay, like I have this one movie that just I do not want to work on, and it just keeps, like, I keep getting ideas. I'm like, right, that's cool, but later, sort of thing.
Yeah, so like in the next 5 years, you're thinking like, how many projects do you think you're gonna get out there within the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I'm trying to get, of like the bigger projects, probably about 6 things. The movie, there's 3 TV shows, but one of them is a little bit more back burner. And then a couple other little projects from there that I was really excited about.
Very cool. Very cool.
Awesome.
I just love it. I just love it so much.
No, I will tell you.
I can do it all day,
I've known you. You've never run out of ideas. Like, him and I would sit and we just like, we always like would feed off of each other and come up with like, I'll give him a seed of something and he'll turn it into a beanstalk. It's like, oh my God. So my next and last question, I think we each have one more, is, so if you did have a bigger budget, you have your dream budget, and you could redo Tonight, what would you do anything differently? And if so, what would it be?
Oh, sure. I do, unfortunately, have a bigger budget version of it. It's one of those things where I'm like, oh my gosh, I could have done this and this and this. Of course, we were working in such a small budget. We filmed it over 1 week. But yeah, I have a bigger budget version, all like basically fleshed out. I've been cleaning it up some, but again, it's one of those things I got to stop myself. But it gets much bigger in a bigger budget version where, Monkey goes to jail. They do a lot more shenanigans around the town. It's a fictional town in Florida.
You mean fired to a karaoke bar wasn't a shenanigan enough for you?
Yeah, no, it gets bigger. Yeah, and there's a lot more to a bigger budget version. But yeah, I absolutely would. Because they're just I love the characters. And what's really cool is I was so green when I started it that I was learning as I went. There was a scene I wrote during the filming because the girls looked at me and they were just like, why don't we ever like talk to each other? And I went, you're right. That was before I knew about like the Bechdel test or whatever. I was like, yeah, you're right. So I wrote a scene for them. And then I was like, oh man, that opens up all these new ideas and stuff. So yeah, it was kind of it was learning as I go for sure, where those ideas will never be fully gone. So I'm always like, okay, well, if theoretically I made one later, it would be like this. But of course, if I filmed it, if this had all happened back then, or flip flopped or whatever, it's just crazy to know that I could have filmed the whole thing like on my iPhone nowadays, since it was filmed so long ago. Like, oh my gosh, like I could have done this for like $20 in my, you know.
Sorry, I gotta stop for a minute. What the hell's going on with Dan's face? Anyone notice that either? Was his face was just
So doing the mustache.
Why are you surprised? It's Dan.
That's all
What
I'm
I
seeing.
really want to
He's
talk
getting
about.
a clown edit right there.
He's gonna.
That's all I'm seeing is Dan's face. Like, that.
So creepy.
I actually farted like in the middle of the talk.
I know.
I couldn't help it.
Oh, I know.
Started picking my nose too a little bit, because there's that booger in my nose that just it can't get out. Yeah.
By the way, I saw the video. The video that has Annie in it.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, you're filming this early, but yeah, that just posted today and yesterday,
Yep.
and I'm very happy to like turn on my phone and go, oh, hey, cool.
There's my kid.
Yeah. Who's doing that? Yeah, there's my kid. What's my kid doing? But
Didn't see you there.
What's that?
Hey, didn't see you there.
Hey.
I saved the kid.
Subscribe.
So,
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you. I was gonna say you should write subscribe for the.
I wish
subscribe to
I was
below.
horrible in English.
Hey, that's the T-shirt idea. Subscribe
Yeah.
now.
Subscribe now.
Like in quotes with like
subscribe now.
Like under it, like subscribe.
Subscribe.
You should look it up and see if subscribe actually means something like, hey, slap me in the face or something,
No.
Oh my god! In France, subscribe means eat a mule or something.
All right, so I guess I'll go next. So I want you to create your ultimate dream night, where you can showcase everything you want. You could showcase anybody, anything, any movie, any band, or anything. What would it be?
Or wait, what do you, of just anything, anywhere?
It could be your mental productions, just anything. Like you could be a band. It could be a multiple things in one night. What would be anything that showcases you, like your work?
Me? Oh,
yeah.
Oh wow. I would love to do just that. I would love to do a combination of the movie, some of my favorite of the shorts. There's a couple sketch videos that just still make me cry laughing. A couple of the honchos.
Fun.
Say again?
I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel.
This is how I feel. Yes.
Like
Jason.
Jason on the subway asking for money. That one was.
We did. There's a one of the sketch videos is about Jason. Like if he just falls on hard times. It's called Hard Times for Jason Voorhees, and he's just there. And when we filmed that thing, it was we didn't hire actors or anything. I had my friend go out as Jason and just start playing. They were like, "What? But it's New York," so they weren't that phased. So which is the best part. That's kind of my favorite thing. Is at the end they legitimately are just like, "All right, there's a mariachi band waiting to get on. Can you just speed it up a little bit?" I wish I actually would have gotten the mariachi band to help, like back up or something. That would have been fun.
Well, maybe the what do you call it? The sequel can be him being like a lifeguard.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Anytime I think of a lifeguard, I always think of the Jim Carrey SNL lifeguard. So
Yes.
I always am just automatically gonna think of that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I answered that question well enough, but I mean, and I would get you guys to play, and I would make Operation Ivy reunite, and they would also play, and I would have a live performance of the stage play I was trying to make. Yeah, it would be like 8 hours long, but it'd be a dream for me. My daughter would dance a little, and whatever. She likes to dance, so. And I would, of course, talk about my candle making. That's why I really came on here to talk. I was kidding. I call this the butterfly. Sorry, I meet Carrot Top once, and I get props.
Awesome. Chivo.
All right.
Last question from Chivo.
All right. So we've heard about why the company, how, your ideas or why you made the company, what your plan is for the next several years, the projects you're trying to put out. But out of all the projects you have worked on, which one holds a special place in your heart?
Oh man. I mean, my daughter. You know what I would also
more of a science project than
oddly enough, I'm not just saying this because Val's on there. I wrote a song with Val a long time ago, and that's still one of my most proud things I've ever done. Lifesaver. I love Lifesaver.
Wow. We used to be in a band called Ginger Val and the Uteros, and Joey was the drummer, and he also sang The Best Band That Never Was.
Yeah, I know.
I
like that.
thought you were going to say Shabba-Dee for a second.
I didn't write Shabba-Dee
for that.
Shabba-Dee's in there.
Shabba-Dee is in there. I saw it.
Is in tonight,
we wrote one song that made no sense with Carlos, but Joey.
No, Carlos wrote that.
Yeah. Well, we didn't write it, but we sang in it and we talked in it.
Oh yeah.
And
we did a total Weezer.
Lifesaver. Can you tell them what that was about? That was really fun, and you were so hilarious on that song.
Oh, thank you. I'm not a singer and I'm not a songwriter, so it was one of those weird things where did it and it felt really good and right, even though it's just a ridiculous song. It was just a song that I came up with this song. I was dating a girl I didn't really care for, and
was that the ogre?
Like, man, yeah, yeah. And I was waiting for her. She was gone. She was supposed to meet me somewhere. I was like, oh gosh, and I started kind of hearing this song in my head. Like, man, I wish she would meet somebody. And it's like, God, make it so much easier. I was not really good at breaking. So I was like, man, I wish she would meet somebody. Oh, and then I was like, what would I sing to that guy? So I started kind of getting this song in my head. And yeah, it's called Lifesaver, where I'm basically singing to the guy. I was like, for a life. And and honestly, there was a back, there was instrumental to it, and I couldn't remember it. So by the time I got it to you guys, to you, Carlos, I was like, I mean, it kind of sounds like La Bamba. And so we just did La Bamba. So, but yeah, it was a song about yeah. Richie Valley's happy about that. It's about this thing. And yeah, it was just a song about this guy who was so glad to get rid of this girl that he was just like, I don't remember the words right now, but I'll buy you Bacardi and all this, like, and don't worry, it's on me and all this stuff. And then not too long ago, I kind of realized, I didn't realize it, but this is kind of one like a ripoff of a Weird Al song in a way. It kind of felt like I just ripped off Weird Al. So, but I'm still very proud of that because it was
a ripoff off a ripoff.
Isn't that weird? It's very, it's a very meta No, but anyways, yeah, that's something I was very, very proud of. I'm so proud of the honchos thing. I didn't even create
Yeah.
honchos. I just helped my
Rory.
friend Rory. I helped Rory. Rory had this great idea. I mean, he pitched it to me, and he was like, "I don't know, let's get some ideas going." And he pitched like this stellar idea, and I was like, "Well, any idea I had is just, it's talking to him." And so we helped make it happen. And I hope to make more of those really soon because they're just so much fun to do. It's very simple. Yeah, it's very, very simple, and that's a lot of times the best thing. Where it's just this little tiny movie studio that's just accepting bad pitches. But we get really cool improv guys. They're improv people, Rory and Sarah Poles, and they're hilarious on their own. But then you get people like Don Finelli and Oscar Montoya, all these like professional, Brandon Scott Jones, like all these professional people. If you look them up, they've gone on to do like big things, and all of a sudden it's like you got a 45-minute thing that you have to cut down to 2 minutes, and you're like, I can't cut any of this out. So I'm trying to get some of those longer takes, the longer cuts, to be like at least a podcast or something, because they're just so hilarious. But yeah, they're just pitching bad ideas, and it's so much fun. We actually got approached by a couple people, like I don't know if I ever told you, but Hazy Mills, Sean Hayes' company, like wanted to make it, and the channel that was on, not College Humor, we were on a channel for a bit there, and it was my damn channel, my dumb channel. But like it was getting all this buzz, all this attention for it. I was so excited. It felt really good to get all that. So yeah, hopefully I'll make a lot more of those soon. But in the meantime, I make other stuff with Rory, and he's just multi-talented as well. And I just love being around like you guys and him, just people who are making stuff and doing fun things. So I'm going to keep going until I can't do it anymore. So I love making videos with you guys. That's I don't know, it feels very good for me. I know you want to do the diner one. So now whenever I go anywhere and I see a diner, like I went to Lake George and I saw a diner there, I was like, I wonder if we can film at this diner, and I think you'll have to go to Florida for it though, honestly, because that has just tons of like, I don't know if Angel's Diner is around up here. I think it's only like in the South.
I don't know, but we'll find one.
We'll find one. We'll build one.
Yes.
Awesome. So, well, I mean, I'm so excited for your new projects. I'm a fan. Always been a fan. Joey comes out with some amazing stuff. I think I see you being like on Comedy Central. Like one of those people need to pick you up because your stuff is like hilarious. Like I'm not just saying that because you're my friend. Like you guys really have to check out his stuff. It's so funny. Like I've peed my pants, literally.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell anyone that, but I have peed my pants. And Honchos is one of my favorites. They're each episode, it's just 2 minutes, but they're so funny and they're very well illustrated and have great characters. And
he's on the move. He's on the move. Where's he going?
I'm on the move.
Yes.
Where's he going? Where's he going?
I don't know. Where am I going?
Where's your grape nuts? So, anyways,
Annie.
So, anyways, I think that concludes our interview. We can't wait to see tonight premiere. And
absolutely.
It's going to be premiering online as of right now, and possibly in person next year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If all went well.
Invader!
Hey, there's our girl.
What's up?
Our Lousey.
This is my daughter, Annie.
Hi, Annie.
What up, Annie?
That's the superstar.
Yeah, she's
Star of the show. Oh my God.
People.
That went downhill fast. That's right. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks
Oh,
for
looks
being
like
on the
Dan's
show, Joe.
Thank you for coming in.
And we
It
can't
looks
wait
like Dan's
to see
gonna get
premiere.
the juggler again.
Yes.
Dan, why are you surprised?
What is it?
Every time Dan cuts out, I replace him with a juggling clown.
I showed it to Joey.
Sent it to me. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. If my dad saw it, he might go like, "Bill," like he would know the guy. We went to we just went to the Ren Fair, and I mentioned, no, you're good, you're good. We just went to the Ren Fair, and I sent him some pictures, and he was like, "I know them, Patrick's," and all. I was like, "Of course you know them. You know every live entertainer."
This is true. Awesome.
My daughter's heckling. She goes, "That's it." So what I'm dealing with here. Gosh, I'm gonna start paying rent soon. Thank you guys so much. This was
you for coming.
Oh, it was our pleasure. Thanks for coming on. Joey.
Love working with you. You do amazing work, and we can't wait to see what is in the future.
I did bring this on though for Val.
Who signed that, Joey?
What?
Who signed that?
I didn't meet him, but yeah, my stepdad was in the movie Quick Change, which was about Bill Murray as a clown. I'm always surrounded by clowns, you see. And it was Bill Murray's directorial debut. I don't know if anybody knows this. I actually have it up on my wall somewhere.
What do you think about that, Bill Murray?
What do you think about that, Bill Murray? I'll give it a mulligan. My stepdad went up to Bill Murray and said, hey, he was an extra in the final scene of the movie. It's on an airplane. And he goes, hey, listen, my son is a huge Ghostbusters fan. He dresses up and he has a Slimer doll and he ties it to his, I used to do this, I used to tie it to my fan. So it would like fly around and I would bust it and all this stuff and everything. And he's like, your son sounds like a mess. Congratulations. So yeah, that's what it says. It goes, you're a mess. Congratulations from Bill Murray. And it's kind of extra special that it's so weird what he wrote. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for this. I can't wait to see you guys in person again. Absolutely.
Can't wait to see you. And what you do.
Yes. Yeah, I can't wait for you to see what all the stuff I'm working on. And you guys are going to be involved very soon. So you're going to see it firsthand.
And in a mesh shirt. Can't beat it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I told you. Would you tell him I want him to be Meg White? I want to make him Meg White.
I didn't tell him about that yet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a drummer. I want you to do a drumming sketch as Meg White, if you don't mind.
Sure.
It's okay. Okay, cool. Why not? You've done worse.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be fully clothed for this, so it's all right.
We've seen it.
Yeah. It makes you do way worse. All right. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, guys.
I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.
Peace out, Joe.
Bye. Peace out. Boom on.
Whoa. I don't know about you guys, but somebody better call 911 because that was fire. Huh?
Now is fired.
Yeah.
So thank you so much to Joey Severini of Mental Productions, the spawn of clowns. Actually, not Chivo. He doesn't have children, but the spawn of real clowns, who is the amazing, creative, awesome Joey Severini. Keep an eye out for the movie tonight, coming to a theater near you.
All
right.
Lousey's out.